Welcome all you new Imperial recruits. It's so nice to see so many recruits for our build today, because we will be building the Dark Side Express. The name given to us by one of our people in our chat. I'd like to thank Gator for coming up with that name. So let's get busy so that you new Imperial recruits have something to drive. Welcome in, everybody. So today we are going to be building a new truck paint design and a new trailer paint design. So we're going to go ahead and get go into the Windows computer, and we're going to show you what we need to do. So there's going to be a few programs you need, which are linked in the description. Welcome in, Stevie Lee. So you need a program called Mod Studio 2. It is a free program, but there's also a Patreon you can join that gives you some extra useful tools in the program if you are a Patreon, but it is fully usable if you're not a Patreon. But if you can, I would recommend being a Patreon. So you would click the link, that link in the description, and then download Mod Studio 2. You also need, I use GIMP. Which is a free program. It is in the Microsoft store, and it's also in the Apple store. But you could click on the link in the description. You can download it manually, or you could go right to the Microsoft store, open Microsoft store, and then get the GIMP program that we'll be using to make the paint jobs. And the last thing you're going to need is the SCS templates. Now, SCS is the game developer for American Truck Simulator. So you would click this link here, and you're going to scroll down a little bit. And you're going to want to click this one here that says All Templates Google Drive link. When you click that, it's going to bring you to a Google Drive. It's going to say you could not scan the file. It is perfectly safe to download. So you can download this. It is perfectly safe to download. And you do need this in order to make the trucks. So those are the three programs we have to download. There is a fourth program we have to use, but we don't actually have to, well, we do technically have to download it, but that is through Steam directly. When we get to that part, I will show it to you. So I'm going to close that out. Now let's get started. What I do is I try to stay organized. So I have what's called an ATS mod creation folder. Funny Gator. Now these 4 files are not required. I created them off of templates that I found to make it easier. These 4 icons, which we will be using in today's lesson, are basically the icons that will show up on when you go into your mod list to select the truck or the trailer you want to use. These icons will show up in the menus. All right. And what we're going to do is go into mod design. And again, this is just a folder I created. You could create a folder and name it whatever you want. And then these are the mods that I created. Today we are going to be working on a Star Wars one. So the other thing you guys need to do is have some PNG pictures. And by PNG, meaning the background is transparent. So all of these images, the background is transparent. So you want to make sure the background is transparent on the images that you pick to use for your truck. Now we're going to back out of this folder because we also now need to decide what truck we're going to do and what trailer we're going to do. So let me show you this, because there's a lot of choices to pick from. So we're going to go into SCS templates, which is we downloaded that earlier, and then you do have to unzip it. So we're going to go ahead to go to SCS trucks. These are all the different trucks that are available in the game that we could create a paint template for. Now, the one I use in the game mostly is the Freightliner Cascadia. So that's the one we're going to use today. But they have the International Lone Star, International LT. They have a Kentworth T680, the Kentworth W900, a Mack Anthem Mack truck, Peterbilt trucks, Volvo trucks, and Western Star trucks. But since we're going to do the Freightliner, we're going to go into the Freightliner folder. Now these are all the templates that we're going to need to use. And I'm going to just, so that you guys can see better, turn my camera off temporarily. So, now if you're only designed, there are actually 4 different Freightliner trucks, okay? We have the day cab. We have the sleeper RR, which is the one I actually use in the game, and then the sleeper XT, okay? Now, if you're making this mod personally for you, you don't have to use all the templates. You could use the one for the truck that you want to use in the game. If you want to make a paint job and actually put it onto Steam for others to use, I would recommend that we got to do every single one of these templates. But for now, we will just stick with the Sleeper RR, which is what I use. Okay? And we are also going to go... I want to say... It's the Sleeper Deflario, because that's our deflectors. Alright? And we're going to do the bumper. Oh, it unselected the other two. Of course it did. We're also going to want to do the corners. And because I know that this one takes the long skirt, we're going to just do the long skirt. Again, if you're making this to go on Steam, you're going to want to do it on all of these. So now we got those selected. We're going to right click our mouse and we're going to hit copy. We don't want to take these files out of this folder because we might need them again for our next truck. Then we're going to back all the way out again. Go into our mod design, into our Star Wars folder, and we're going to create another new folder. And since this is a Freightliner, I'm going to call it Freightliner. But you can call it whatever you want as long as you remember it. Then we're going to go into this folder. We're going to right click and we're going to paste those templates that we just copied. I usually like to switch it to large icon so I can see which one's which. So we have 5 icons for the truck that we got to do. Now, before we start actually doing it, we're going to go back into SCS templates. This time we're going to go into trailers because we want to make a trailer as well. These are all the different types of trailers you have in the game. We're going to do a simple box trailer today, where you have a fuel tank, a gas tank, a grain hopper, dump truck. You could call it that if you want, Stevie Lee. All right, so we're going to go ahead and go into our box truck. And again, if this is a personal mod, you can just select the ones that you plan on using in the game. If you're doing it to put on Steam for other people to download, you want to do every single one of these that are in this folder. These are the different lengths of the trailer. So we have 28 foot, 32 foot, 45 foot, 48 foot, and 53 foot. Okay? We're going to do a 45-foot trailer. We want the front wall of the trailer. If you wanted to have a wind deflector on the front wall, you can select that. We are going to do the rear arrow, which is basically the skirts under the trailer. And then you can pick the type of door you want. A standard regular door that open, you have two doors that open up, or a roll-up door. We are going to just do a roll-up door for today, but you could select both of them and program both of them. Again, we're going to right-click, and we're going to copy these. Then we're going to go out, back into our mod design, our Star Wars. And then we're going to right click, we're going to click new folder, and we're going to hit just box truck. Again, you can name it whatever you want, but that's what I'm naming my folder. Go into the box truck folder, right click, and we want to paste those templates. Again, you can leave it as list view if you want. I go large icon so I can see what is what. All right. And I am going to go get one more file that I used on an earlier mod just to make my life easier. The stars PNG icon. I am going to copy this. And then we are going to go back into our Star Wars, our PNG pictures, and I'm going to paste it. Okay. Now this may sound a little redundant, and in a way it is. But what I like to do to make it easier when I'm working with these files, because otherwise if you don't, you're going to be backing in and out of folders constantly. Is I like to copy. I don't need the ATS logo. That was for something else. I'm going to copy all these. So I'm going to go ahead and hit copy. And I'm going to go into box trailer. And I'm going to paste them. Then I'm going to hit copy again. And I'm going to go into Freightliner. And I'm going to paste them. So it is redundant because now we have 3 copies of the same pictures, but you'll see it'll be easier doing it that way. All right, so we're going to start with the trailer because it's the trailer. The box trailers are pretty easy. So we're going to go into box trailer, and we'll start with the front wall. So once you have that program GIMP installed that we downloaded earlier, you're going to just double click on front wall PNG. It will take a minute to open, especially if you have a slow computer like mine. And as you can see, it's now opening GIMP. This one is 2.10, which is, if you were to download it today, probably the one you would have. Okay. Now, this looks like a very complicated program, and at times it can be. But for the purpose of designing these trucks and trailers, it is not that complicated. It's fairly simple what we have to do. So what we're going to do first is, because Star Wars, just like Star Trek, is in space, we're going to make a star field all over our trailer. So what I'm going to do is come up to File, and I'm going to hit Open as Layers. And then I'm going to pick that stars one I put in. And you see it puts it as a layer over here. These are all your layers. So what I'm going to do is, because I think I can do this, we're going to make sure that you want to make sure that your crossbar, see how your crossbar here has like two crossbars and like a little circle? And then if we're in just the right spot, it's just a single crossbar. You want to make sure you have just a single crossbar, or it's going to select a different layer than you're actually working on. I am going to right click. I'm going to layer. I'm going to go to transform, and I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees. And then I am going to just move it over this like white graded off color gray right here, because this is actually the roll up door. Just this part right here. Okay? Now what I usually do, because it's a star field, is I lower the opacity, which basically means how much is shown of this field. So for the star field, we're gonna go 50. All right. So now that's set. Now we're gonna come to, over here, and we're gonna right click, and we're gonna just hit new layer. You could leave it paint, or you could title the layer whatever you want, doesn't matter. But you want the new layer, which we are going to use as a paint layer, all the way at the bottom. And because space is black, we are going to make sure black is on the top, because when we use the bucket fill, whatever color is on the top square is the color that's going to be filled. We're going to select bucket fill, and then we can click anywhere here, anywhere. And it's going to fill it like that. Okay? Now, what we're going to do, just in case we want to come back and make changes, is we're going to go up to go to File, Save. You notice it's got an extension of XCF. That's a GIMP file. And it says front wall. But now what I usually do is, after the name, is I usually give it another underscore, and I give it another name. In this case, I'm going to say Star Wars. And then we're going to hit Save. This will allow us to, if we want to make any changes, to make it easier for us to come back in to make changes. Now, we need to get this ready to be able to go into American Truck Simulator. How do we do that? Well, first we want to take this actual front wall PNG, which is where we started. We want to hit the I, and then that's I with no eyes, so that it disappears. It's still technically in the file, it's just hidden. So now all we're going to see is our star field. Then we're going to come up here, and then we're going to hit export. Now, it's automatically going to put the front wall, and then because we put Star Wars on a XCF file, it automatically put that for us too. And that's the way I usually leave it. We're going to hit export. I leave all these settings just as default, and just hit export. And then we could close it out. It's going to ask us if we want to discard changes, and that's because we hid this layer. I usually say no. I usually say just discard the changes. It doesn't matter. Now you notice we have front wall, which we opened, and then we have front wall Star Wars. Now, since we did front wall, I like to go ahead and delete that file, because I know that the front wall now has been done. Even if I need to go in and change it, I have the original XCF file to go back in to change it. All right, so we're going to do the same thing with this rear arrow. We're just going to do a star field with it. So I'm not going to talk through all the steps. We're just going to do these steps pretty quickly on this one. The fun part is when maybe the back door, but definitely when we get to the trailer part. All right. Come on, open up. Oh, apparently it is open. Okay. So what we're going to do again, I will say this, we're going to do, the first thing is we're going to import that star field as a layer. Now you notice this one we're not going to be able just to rotate and it's going to fit. So we're going to, now, one thing to remember, and I'm going to show you this as a mistake, all right? When you, because with the last tool we used when we were in GIMP was the paint bucket, once you insert a new layer, you must make sure you're on the right tool. Because otherwise, right now we are on the paint bucket, and if we were to go ahead and click, it's gonna fill that. It's gonna fill that, and that's not what we want. Control Z will do make an undo. So you want to be on the selection tool, and we're gonna go ahead and drag our star field to where we want it. That's pretty close. Now we're going to go down, bring it back down to 50%. Whoops, too far. Okay. Now, but we got the bottom part down here. So you're saying, do we have to import it again? No, we don't. All we have to do is right click on this star field that we just did and hit duplicate layer. Now we have two of them. So if we go up with our selection tool, we can move the second layer down. Okay, so now our star field is on the side skirts of the trailer. Now we're gonna create a new layer. We're gonna leave it paint, drag it to the bottom. We're gonna hit the paint bucket, and now we're gonna paint it. All right, so now our side skirts for the trailer are painted. We're going to save it in case we ever want to come back and make changes. Enter will also work instead of clicking save. Again, you want to make sure you take the original file and hide it, otherwise you're going to see that on the truck and it's not going to look very nice. Then once you hide that layer, you're going to go and export. Discard changes. Okay. Now while we're here, I'm going to let the chat decide. Out of the pictures being shown here, which one do you think should be on the back door? The group of Ewoks? The Millennium Falcon? A single Ewok on the back door? An Imperial Destroyer on the back door? The Death Star on the back door? Or Darth Vader? Put in the chat which one you guys think we should use on the back door. Alright, we got 2 Death Stars already. Anybody else? Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and pick our roll-up door. Now we're going to do our star field again, because we are putting that star field on everything, because it is space. Make sure we're on our selection tool, and we're going to rotate this layer. Even with it being rotated, it's not gonna fill up the whole door. So what we're gonna do before we duplicate it, we're gonna make our life easier and set our opacity, and then we're gonna duplicate. And then we're going to go ahead and move our star field over just a little bit. It's okay if it overlaps. It's stars. It don't matter. All right, so now our star field is ready. Now we're going to do the same thing for the Death Star. We're going to open as layer. And we're going to select the Death Star PNG and open it. Okay, now you're going to say, whoa, that's really small for the back door. That's perfectly fine. Because what we're going to do is we're going to right click on that layer, which is the Death Star. We're going to go to layers. And we're going to go to scale layer. So right now the Death Star is a 400 by 400 pixel. I'm going to go 1200 by 1200 and see what we got. It's scale. Now we have a bigger Death Star. So now we can put it where we want. I think right in the center would be good. Again, we need a paint layer. Now I'm choosing black because space is black, but you could pick any color you want. We're going to use our paint bucket, and we're going to fill it. Again, we're going to save this. We're going to hide the original file, and we're going to export. Close discard changes. And then I'm going to delete that roll-up door because we know that we did it. Oh, we did the arrows that we did not delete before. That's okay. We'll just select it now and delete that. So basically, for the trailer, we only have just the trailer left to do, which is the fun part. So we're going to go bring the trailer one up. Okay, so you have to look at the trailer like they open the trailer up onto a sheet of paper, okay? So this here is the very top of the trailer, like if you were looking straight down from the sky on the trailer, this would be the top of the trailer. And then these are your two sides of your trailer. This is the driver's side of the trailer. And this is the passenger side of the trailer on the very top. So again, we're doing a star field all over the place. So we're going to go ahead and open layer and import our star field. And make sure we're on our selection tool. Now because this is the trailer, it's going to take a few of these to cover the whole trailer. So again, I'm going to lower the opacity before I duplicate so I don't have to go back and lower each one individually. Once I do that, all I'm going to do is duplicate layer. And then I'm going to slide it over and duplicate it again. Bring it down. And duplicate it one more time. Okay, now our star field is done. Now we got to decide what we want on the trailer. What do you guys want to see on the top of the trailer if you were to look down from the sky and saw the trailer driving on a highway? Which icon should we put on the top of the trailer? Again, we have... Oh, you can't see the... let me do it this way. So these are the ones we can pick from. Remembering we already have the Death Star on the back door. Which one should we have on the top of the trailer? I'm thinking maybe the destroyer if we can angle it right. But what does the chat think? Hopefully I didn't lose the chat. I'm trying to load YouTube on my iPad to make sure... Okay, I didn't lose the chat. Okay. Alright. So we will try the Death Star. We're gonna go back to GIMP. And see what we could do with this Death Star. Not the Death Star, I'm sorry, the Destroyer. Alright. So obviously we need to make it bigger. So we're gonna go layer, scale layer. That's 728 as a width. Let's go 928 and see how that looks. And I hit tab after I put the 928 so that it auto adjusts the height automatically. And we're gonna move it down to the top. And we're gonna go transform, and we're gonna go flip horizontal. And then we're gonna see what we can do to try and fix this a little bit. Nope. Oh, okay, that's... Alright, so I guess that we're gonna be stuck like that. Okay. That's not too bad. Alright, now Stevie Lee said we should have at least a group of Ewoks on the trailer. So we're gonna go ahead and import those. And obviously we're gonna also need Darth Vader. So let's see, group of Ewoks. Open. And I might not. I might leave that just the size it is. So now we're gonna duplicate that layer. Because we kind of want it, we want both sides to be kind of similar. And we're going to go to transform and flip horizontally. All right, so now we also need Darth Vader. That's a given. Oh, Darth Vader is really big, so we're definitely gonna have to resize him. So we'll go layer, scale layer. Oh yeah, he's 1280 by 1020. Let's go 1080. See what we get. You'll probably have to go smaller. Yeah, we're gonna have to go smaller than 1080. So you may have to go to scale layer a number of times until you get the size you want. Oh, nope. That would have been way too big. And he's still too big. Still a tad too big. Let's see what we got now. Okay, now that's all right. So we're going to duplicate him. And we're going to go layer, transform, flip him horizontally. Try to line him up a little bit. Okay. Now, let's see. What else do we have? Did we put the Falcon on it as well? Or another destroyer? Or we could even put another Death Star on the side. So, Death Star, Destroyer, or Falcon? Hey, Stevie saying another Destroyer. Now, if we're going to use another Destroyer, it makes it easy because we already have one here. So we're going to just go down to the Destroyer and duplicate that layer. And then we could go ahead and move it. That's all right. And then we're going to duplicate it one more time for the other trailer. And we are going to go to layer, transform, flip horizontal. Put it right about there. Okay. Now we're going to add another layer. Again, I'm just going to leave it as paint. All right. And I'm going to use yellow this time. And you're going to see why in a second. Unfortunately, I have a lot of things going on personally and medically. Hi, Rising Rhino. Yeah, today we're actually designing a truck. Okay, so the name we're going with is Dark Side Express. So we're going to go ahead and select our A2 for our text. We can click anywhere. I'm going to put it all in caps, and we're going to call it Dark Side Express. We're going to do a Control A to select all of that. We're going to hit make it bold, and we're going to increase the text size. Then we're going to grab our Selection tool, make sure that we are on the word and not off to the side, otherwise it won't work. There we go, Dark Side Express. We're going to take this paint layer and bring it all the way to the bottom, because when we do a text, it doesn't actually use the layer we just created, but we need that paint layer anyway. Then we're going to duplicate layer, and we're going to bring it up here. Now you might think we need to reverse this as well, horizontally, but no, you don't. Because if you do, the words will be backwards in the game. Alright? So that is our trailer. We're going to come back down to paint. Take our paint bucket. And we're going to hit to make it black. Thank you, Rising Rhino. So again, we're going to go ahead and hit save. Sorry about that. Alright, so we're going to title this Star Wars. Again, we're going to hide the box 45 because we don't want that showing up. And we're going to hit export. So now our trailer is technically done. So we could go ahead and delete the box 45. So we programmed the trailer. So now comes the real tedious part. The trailers aren't that bad, even though sometimes there can be a lot of them. It's the trucks, which this one's not going to be too bad because we're just doing one specific truck. But if we were doing it for all the trucks, there would be a lot of files. So for the bumper is going to be easy. The side skirt's going to be easy. And the corner is going to be easy. All three of those are just going to be the star field. So we're going to load up the bumper. And we're going to open as layer and select our star field. Now you see why I put all the pictures in each folder. Because otherwise we'd have to be backing out of these folders to get to where the pictures were. And then going back into the folders, and that's why it's easier just to put them all in it. This already covers the entire bumper, so we're just going to lower the opacity so it matches the trailer. We're going to lower it down to 50. And we're going to do new layer of paint. And paint bucket's already selected. That's painted. We're going to save it. Whoops. Again, make sure you take off the original file, even though you could barely see it on here. You can hardly see it, but it is there. You want to take it off before you export. This card changes. All right, same thing with the corners. Open as layers, import the star field. Again, the star field covered it pretty good. So we're just going to lower the opacity. Add a paint layer. I could make a Stevie Lee truck too. All right, we're going to again put our Star Wars tag. Now you don't have to put these tags. I do just for organization purposes. But you don't really have to put them. But like I said, I do. I want to make sure. Okay, I did adjust the star field. Take the corner graphic off and export. Oh, come on. Discard changes. Okay. And we did the quarter deflector. So now we have 1, 2, 3 more files to do. So we're going to do the side skirt because that's going to also just be the star field. So that won't take long to do. Open as layer, star field. And I'm going to just leave it like that because it covers pretty much the majority of it. So I'm just going to go ahead and lower the opacity to R50. Increase, add a new layer paint. Drag it to the bottom. And paint filled up with black. Then we're going to hit save. And we're going to put in our tags. Take off the side skirt long and export. Export it with all the default options and close it out. Discard changes. So now the side skirt is done. So now we only have 2 more files, the deflector and the actual truck. So we're going to go ahead and do the deflector. So again, we want a star field on every part of the truck so the whole truck looks like it's in space. So open as layer, star field. And I almost did what I told you guys not to do. Make sure things are selected right. And this one, we're going to add something else besides just the star field. So I'm going to put the star field in, and then we'll get to what we're going to be adding. We're going to duplicate layer, bring it down. Good enough. Okay. So this is the front. This one is the front of the deflector. So if you were looking at the truck face on, this is what you would see at the top of the truck. This is the back of the deflector, so you don't really see that much. So we're not going to worry about that one. But what should we put in the center of the deflector when you're looking straight at the truck? Again, these are your options. I know, right, Gator? It's not, I mean, it's not hard, but it is time consuming, especially depending on how many trucks you got to make. So, should we put Vader on the top of the truck? Oh, put the Falcon on the top of the truck? Okay. We haven't used the Falcon yet. Open as layer and select Falcon. And we're going to adjust that a little bit because it's a little small. So we're going to go 700. And we're going to hit scale layer. Now, if you want to zoom in on this program, what you're going to do is hold the control key on your Windows computer and use the center of the mouse, that scroll wheel on the mouse, and scroll in. And it actually will scroll. So we're going to go ahead and center this a little. Now, it may look like it's down too far, but trust me, you'll want it down further. You don't really want it centered, because if you're looking at the truck straight on, you're not going to be able to see the top of the Falcon. So I usually put it about right around here. Right about there. All right, so I'm going to back out. We got the Falcon there. We're going to add our paint layer. Bring our paint layer down. Is everyone ready for the real fun part now? Whoops. Our tag for this one. All right, take our deflector off. And we're going to go export. 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 And close. This card changes. So now our deflector is done. Now comes the fun part. Designing the truck. So again, with the one part is easy. We want a star field everywhere. So that part's easy. But then we got to decide what else we want on the truck and where we want it. So we're going to lower this to our 50% before we duplicate, just to make it easy for us. And then we're going to just duplicate. And we're going to be duplicating this a few times. And it's okay if these overlap, because it's the star field anyway. Oops, I hit the wrong button. I want duplicate. So depending on how complicated you make your truck, you could have a ton of layers on your truck. And we will be, because I do have to show you how to get it into the game. So we will be showing you how to get it into the game and then seeing what it looks like in the game. Okay, so we got our star field. Now, what does anybody have suggestions of what we should put where? Should we put some things on the door? What should we put on the hood of the truck? What should we put Vader on the hood of the truck? Or should we put Ewoks, the group of Ewoks on the front of the truck? I could put that. Because we could put text there too. If you guys want to have a text here, we could put text there. Well, while you guys are deciding, I'm going to zoom in down here. And we're going to put... Okay. What should I say? Just Star Wars? Destroyer? Oh. Problem is because we import it, it automatically puts it in the center. So we have to go back up to grab it. Obviously, the destroyer is too large for the door, so we're going to need to scale it down. And that's still too kind of, yeah, we're going to scale it down a little bit more. We'll go 428. All right, so we got a destroyer on that door. Duplicate. Now this one gets complicated because the door is upside down to us right now. It's not. That's weird because it's not breaking up on my end. Oh. Hold on, let me check, guys. Hold on. Testing, testing. All right, I'm gonna restart the streaming program. Hold on, guys. All right, so hopefully we're better now. All right, so. Give me a thumbs up in the chat if we're doing better now. All right, so. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and we do have to transform And we're gonna what are we gonna do? Flip vertically. There we go. All right, thank you, Gator and Stevie. Okay, and Stevie said we should put the word Star Wars on the hood. So we're gonna go ahead and add a new layer. We'll just call it paint. And we're gonna type in Star Wars. We'll make it 2 lines. Might even space do a little. No. Okay. We're going to select them. We're going to go bold. We're going to increase the size. And then now we might try and see if we can space. There we go. That looks a little better with 1 space. We're going to get our selection tool. Layer. Transform clockwise. Center it. Welcome in, Curtis. All right, so we got that destroyers on the doors, the word Star Wars on the hood. Do we want to put something on this deflector here? Do we want to put another Vader here? Do we want to put the single Ewok here? All right, that's what I was thinking, the single Ewok. That's what I was thinking. So open as layer, Ewok. We're gonna layer, transform 90 degrees clockwise. Bring him down a little bit. Okay. So we're gonna call that one good. You could go into even greater detail and stuff. I was thinking that, but I didn't get Chewbacca. I can get Chewbacca and we could edit it later. That's why we're saving the file, so if we want to make edits. So we're gonna go ahead and hit save. But that's why we save these files, so if we want to make changes later, we can without having to start all over. Oh, I'm not Stew Wars. I'm not cooking. All right, so that takes care of that. Oh, we got to move this paint layer down. We almost forgot that. We almost forgot the paint layer. So we're going to go ahead and click save again, but it won't come up with a dialog because we already named it. Take the sleeper RR off and export. So we're almost done the design phase. So we're done with the sleeper RR. So we're done with the truck and the trailer design phase. But now I'm going to come up here, grab these 4 files, and copy. Go back into mod design, Star Wars, and paste those 4 files. Because like I said, these will be the icons in the mod list that you will see when we load it into the game. And you notice it says icon, what the dimension is, and then it says either as PNG or as JPG. If it says as PNG, when we export it, it must be exported in PNG. If it says as JPG, we must export it as JPG. So we're going to go ahead and double click this one. And we're going to just do these real quick. Or try to do these real quick. Insert as layers. And see, we didn't put the pictures here, so now we're going to have to be going back and forth with full, to get folders. Now, you see, he's really, really big. So, layer, scale layer. We're going to go 280. Layer. Apparently, we got to even go. All right, that's all right. That's not too bad. And then we're going to just go ahead and hit. We're going to make these real simple so we can get done with that. Star Wars. And we're going to shrink these words down. And we are going to go and do a paint bucket. Make that like that. And I don't care about saving these. That's fine. Darth Vader. Oh, not Darth Vader. That's right. I don't have to do that. Okay. So we're going to go ahead. And this is 256 by 64 as PNG. All right. So we will save it just to make it easier. Oh, no, I shouldn't have saved it. Crap. That's okay. All right, we'll do this. We'll save it again. I forgot if we save it, it overwrites that file. We don't want to do that. All right, put those back. We're just going to go ahead and hit export. And we want, this is already a PNG file. So we can take off PNG there, and we're going to just take off where it says icon, and we're going to hit Star Wars. Export. Close it out, discard changes. So the 256 by 64 is done. So we can go ahead and delete that folder. We got 3 more really quick to do. And then we'll get this into the game so you guys can see it. So we're going to go ahead and go file, open as layers. Got to go back into our pictures. Our theta. Rescale this. What we used before. Scale. No, that 80 is way too small for this one. 280. And 280 is way too big. Come on, Darth Vader. Don't be so difficult. There we go. That's better, Darth. That's better, Darth Vader. And we're gonna go ahead and go star wars. And we're gonna shrink these words down so it fits. Why is that doing that? Alright, we'll just leave it like that. We'll just leave it like that. Move the words a little bit. Go to the paint layer. Switch it to black. And we're going to go ahead to hit export. Now, see, this is where it becomes important. That's why I labeled these files the way I did. You notice I labeled this one as JPG, but it has the extension PNG. So what we want to do first is go and change this PNG to JPG. And then we could delete the as JPG. And we can delete icon and put it Star Wars. And then export. Export. Now when we close this card changes, we will have it as JPG, the 276 by 162, which is what we need, because these files have to be a specific size or the program will not take them. That's why they're all labeled with the sizes that they need to be and what file format they need to be. So we got two more really quick to do, and then we can get ready to go into the game and then see what it looks like in the game. Layer, sorry, wrong one. Scale layer. We'll go 280 because this is a bigger file, so 280 might be okay. 280 is fine. It's actually a little small, but that's okay. We're just doing this real quick anyway. Good enough. Like I said, we're just doing these icons real quick. Oh, I gotta select the paint layer. There we go. Export. Again, see how this is PNG. So we do need to change it. Out. Export. Export. Discard changes. That one can be deleted. So we have one last one to do for the icons. And we are going to go ahead and go to File, Open as Layers, PNG. I'm going to, just to mix it up, I'm going to put the Death Star on this one. And we'll go 350. And we'll give it our name. Good enough. Doesn't have to be perfect right now. Paint layer. bucket, because we want to get these into the game already. Okay, export. And this is also JPG. Oh, so we're in capital letters. Make sure you are not in capital letters. JPG. Star Wars. Come on. Export. Export. Alright, so we are done editing the files. Now we have to get them ready to go into the game. This is where that Mod Studio 2 we downloaded earlier comes in. So we're going to load Mod Studio 2. Actually, we're also going to go back into that folder we were just in. Mod Design. Star Wars. We do need to create one more folder, which I forgot to do. So we're going to create a new folder, and we're just going to call it Star Wars Mod. We just have to create the folder. We don't need to put anything in it yet. But we do need a blank folder for Mod Studio to work. So we're going to go ahead and start a new mod project. Now this is both for ETS, which is Euro Truck Simulator 2, and ATS, American Truck Simulator. We're doing it for American Truck Simulator, so we're going to click ATS. We're going to click on this, the mod manifest. You need to give it a mod name. So we're going to call it Star Trek. Author, we're going to I'll just use Triton. And I'm going to put B1 for the version. Okay? Icon. Now this is very important. This is why we have those files with certain special sizes. You can use the default actually, it's the same exact procedure, Gator, for Mac. It's the same exact, everything is the same. But we're going to go ahead and browse. We're going to go into Mod Design, Star Wars. And we're going to pick the 276 by 162 JPEG. Now, if we pick the right file, we'll get a check mark up here. If we pick the wrong size file, in fact, I'll show you. Let's pick a wrong size file. It'll be orange because that's the wrong size file. That's why there was 4 different files that we needed to do. So this one is the 276 by 162. If you want to, you could give a text to your mod, the description or whatever. Multiplayer, I always leave checked. Environment, I don't really touch it. I go do anything with the environment. All right. Now we're going to go ahead and we'll add the truck first. So we're going to go ahead and hit Add Template. And we're going to hit Advanced Truck Skin. Okay, now we did a Freightliner, so we're going to make sure we pick Freightliner here. Then we're going to go ahead and hit Basic. Now the skin internal name must be all lowercase and only underscores, and can only be up to 8 to 12 characters long, I think. So we're just going to go star_wars. Now if you put in too many, it'll turn orange, meaning that you can't use that name. Okay. The skin name, you can name it whatever you want. So we're going to go Star Wars anyway. And we do have to say how much the player has to pay to use it in the game. We'll go $1. Now we're going to go to Icon. And again, this is one of those 4 files we created. So we're going to go to browse, and you notice it only comes up with that one PNG file we did because it's the only one it will take. And it puts that file there. Now, skins is where you're going to load all the different skins for the different trucks. So when we hit add image, we have the 4 different trucks, but we only did the sleeper RR. So we're going to select that. We're going to hit browse. We're going to go into our Freightliner truck and we're going to hit the sleeper RR and open. That's going to load the skin that we designed into it. If we did one for each truck, you would have to do add another image for each one of the trucks. We're going to go to accessories, add image. We did the 2020 bumper, so we're going to go bumper 2020, open, and we're going to make sure we pick just the 2020 bumpers. Then we're going to go ahead and add image. Browse, corner deflectors. And we got all arrow, all cabs, corner deflectors. Then we're going to go another one, add image. And we're going to go the sleeper deflector. These are the deflectors. So we're going to go RR. Then we're going to go ahead and add another one for the side skirts. Oh, but we didn't do the, okay, we do have to do one more. I don't know why we didn't get that, but we do actually have to do one more. But that won't take long to do. So we're going to go ahead and do side skirt. And the side skirt, we want arrow and paint. Arrow and paint. These are the 2 long skirts. Those are mid skirts and short skirts, which we don't have. We forgot to do the sun shield. We do want to make it look metallic if we want. And then we're going to go ahead and go file. Since we do have to fix the sunshade, we're going to hit save as. And we're going to go Star Wars. And we're going to just type in Star Wars. Save. So that's saved now. Now we're going to go back into our folder to see if we can fix that we forgot to do the sunshade. I don't know why we forgot to do that. But we forgot to grab the sun shield. So we grab the sun shield real quick. Mod design, Star Wars, Freightliner, and we're gonna paste that. We'll do this one real quick because this is just gonna be the star field anyway. Open as layer, stars. Open. Good enough. New layer. Paint. Oh, I do have to lower the star level to 50. We almost forgot to do that. Come on, line up. Alright, that's all set. Let's save this in case we ever want to make changes. Our course. Alright, take off. Oh, we gotta actually do the paint. We almost forgot that part too. There we go. So we're gonna save this again because we just did the paint. Take off the sun shield and export. Sun shield export. So the sun shield is done. Because we did forget to do the sun shield. Okay. So we could go ahead now back to accessories. Scroll all the way down, add image. Freightliner and sunshield, open. Come all the way down, select standard sunshield. Again, just save it real quick in case you ever want to make changes. Alright, now we're almost ready to try to get it into the game just about. What we need to do now is go to File, Export Mod. You get two options, Local Mod and Steam Workshop. Now, if you do a local mod, it's going to create a local file that you would have to go into your documents folder, find American Truck Simulator, go into your mod folder, and place it in the mod folder manually. I'm going to make it easy, which is what I've been doing, and put Steam Workshop, Export Mod. Now, see, it's asking us for a folder. That's why we created this Star Wars mod empty folder. We're going to select that folder and hit Select Folder. It's now going to export the mod. Export is successful. So we are done with MDS2, Mod Studio 2 now. So now, we're going to launch Steam. Okay. Now, if you should if you're designing trucks, you probably already have American Truck Simulator or are going to get it. But you also need to have SCS Workshop Uploader. It is available on Steam and it is free. So if you don't have this, you need to install this, because this is how we're going to get it, that mod that we just created, into American Truck Simulator. So you would just go to search, and you could type in SCS. Whoops. Come on, I can't type apparently. And it's going to come right up. And you see mine's already says in library. If you don't have it, it would tell you you can go ahead and install it. So I'm going to go back home. So we're going to load Workshop, the SCS Workshop Uploader, and we're going to launch it. Now we're going to have to select the game, which in our case, we only have one of those games that are installed, which is, in our case, it's American Truck Simulator. Now it's gonna bring me back to this screen. Now I'm not sure if it's bringing me back to this screen because my Steam is on what's called big picture mode. If you're on standard mode for Steam, it may not just pause here. But if it pauses, just hit your Windows key and go find your program and go back into SCS Workshop. That's all. Okay. Now it says tag, type required. Because we did a truck and a trailer, I usually do other type, because you can only select one. Okay, mod data folder. We need to select a folder that now has our mod in it. So we're going to hit browse. In this case, it's Star Trek mod. Select folder. Now you notice this preview image. We're going to hit browse, and it tells you the preview image is the one that's 640 by 360. So we're going to hit browse. And we're going to go back to Star Wars. And we're going to check the one that's 640 by 360. Hit open. So it puts our preview folder there. Mod name, maximum length is 128 characters. So we're just going to go ahead and put in Star Wars. Alright, and the description, minimum of 50 characters, so it has to be at least 50 characters long. My live tutorial on designing a Star Wars truck and trailer. All right. If you had any change notes, you can enter it here. And then we're just going to hit upload. It will come up with this warning every single time. It is just a warning. It's a naming warning. It's saying that something is not needed, but it's already there. All you have to do is hit continue. Item has been successfully uploaded. Hit OK, and you can exit. Now it's going to bring us back here. We're going to go ahead and hit back home. And we're going to hit American Truck Simulator. Now, before we go into the game, we need to put the mod actually into the game. So we're going to hit Game Info, Workshop. And we're going to hit Your Workshop Files. We now see Star Wars here. We're going to hit the little plus icon. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit Home. We're going to hit American Truck Simulator again. And we're going to hit Play. Okay. Now, you will not get this warning. This is a developer mod I have installed. That's why I get this warning. More than likely, you will not get this if you have the game. Okay, before we hit continue to actually go into the game, we need to activate the mod we just installed. So we're going to go to Mod Manager. That's weird. It picked the wrong icon. I don't know why it did that. It says Star Wars, but it's got Star Trek. I don't understand why it did that. But we're just going to activate it anyway. I'm not sure why it did that. And we're going to put it in with the rest of our paint jobs. Confirm changes. And then hit continue game. And once it loads, we will go to a, because you can only change the skins at a repair shop. Well, the trailers you can change if you're not using them. But the truck itself can only be, the skin can only be changed at a repair shop. And sometimes my game does take a little while to load because, like I said, I am not on a gaming computer. I'm surprised the game actually works, period. I have a very cheap all-in-one HP computer from Walmart. I know, Gator. I would love to have even a halfway decent gaming computer. I just can't afford one, so. Alright, so what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to hit drive. And I think Oh, see, we do have the trailer attached. Okay, so what we're gonna go ahead and do is detach our trailer. Because the trailer we could do right here. I always have a hard time spelling boldly. I'm sorry. Trailer manager. And that's in Toronto. So we're going to go ahead and hit dismiss the trailer because you cannot change it while it's attached to you. I'm going to go ahead and hit configure the trailer. We're going to hit paint job. Okay, I'm wondering if we have too many mods now, too many design mods because it's not showing up the Star Wars. So we may have too many mods in. Too many design mods. So we're gonna see if that's what the case. Because I know we didn't mess up the mod, because I do this all the time, so I know we didn't mess up the mod. So we're gonna have to go back to Launchpad for a minute. It may be we just have too many design mods in our. So we're gonna go ahead and go to game, but I still don't know why you put Star Trek there. Or maybe because it did put Star Trek there, there's a conflict. So we will take my Star Trek out. We'll take Dallas out for now, the Zamboni. So we should be good now. We should be good. Continue game. Now the game will give us an error because we took some mods out. We can just click load anyway. See, this is the error. We're gonna just hit load anyway. It's gonna tell us these mods are missing. Just hit continue. Of course, now we gotta wait for it to load again. I have to go so cheap. I'm actually using a Logitech T80 steering wheel to play this game. It doesn't even have force feedback. So if Logitech is watching and wants to sponsor a video and supply me with a Logitech G29 force feedback wheel, reach out to me. I'll do a review on it. I'd love to get a Logitech G29 with force feedback. So hopefully this will work now, because if it doesn't, I'm not sure what got messed up, because I've made like 6 different trucks already, and I've never had an issue. So I'm hoping that maybe it was either a conflict with the Star Trek mod or too many design mods in it. So, which is weird that that's still saying live long and prosper, because that actually shouldn't be saying that, because that mod's not in there. That mod is not in there, so I don't know. Did we pick the wrong mod? I think we might have picked the wrong mod. I don't know how, but we might have picked the wrong mod. Alright, let's try this one more time, folks. We're going to have to exit the game completely. Actually, we'll go into Launchpad first because this is not making no sense. That should not even be on there because we took the Star Trek mod out. So it's possible when we uploaded it to Steam, I hit Star Wars instead of the Star Trek. It's possible I hit Star Trek instead of Star Wars. Although, so we're gonna go ahead and close that, do that, confirm changes. So then we're gonna head and exit the game. We're also gonna check Mod Studio and make sure we actually uploaded the right stuff and that I didn't upload the wrong ones there. So we're gonna go ahead and power down Steam for a minute just so I could check Mod Studio. This is why we saved it, so we could go back in if anything was wrong. Mod Studios. Open project. Star Wars. Oh, we didn't even put the trailer in. That's a good thing we just checked because we didn't even put the trailer in. Skins. Nope, we got the right one. Star Wars. Alright, so we did. Okay, we got Star Wars in. But let's add the trailer since we forgot to add the trailer. So, trailer skin. We did a box trailer. Basic icon. Basic. We're gonna do, again, Star Wars. Star. And we're gonna go $1. $1. And we are gonna pick our icon. Image. We're gonna add our image. And we did the Star Wars nope. We need to go back. Box truck. Box 45, open. And we did the 45 trailer. Accessories. And we did... Alright, we're in box truck. The front wall. And then we're gonna need to go the back door, which is the roll-up door. Open. Okay, and then we also need to do our side skirt. I just select all. Oh, actually, we don't have to. We're doing the 45 truck, so we really don't have to pick all of them. Just have to pick the 45. All right, so that's all set. Now we're gonna hit save. Before we export, we're gonna go in here, mod design, Star Wars mod, and we're gonna delete what's already in there. You can close that out. All right, come on. Cooperate. File, export mod, Steam, export mod. Mod design, Star Wars mod, select folder. Give us a second, Jaden. I think we're gonna get it now. All right, so now we're gonna go back into Steam. Like I said, I'm not sure if I just selected the wrong folder, but something wasn't right. So before we go into the workshop uploader, I'm going into American Truck Simulator, Game Info, Workshop, my workshop files, and I'm going to take this Star Wars and hit delete. So that's completely out of there. So I'm gonna go back to home. Now we're gonna go into SCS Workshop Uploader. We're gonna select game. Make sure we're paying attention this time and make sure I select the right folder because that's all I can think of. So browse folder, mods, Star Wars mod. Here we go. Browse, Star Wars 360. That's good. Other type, paint jobs, other accessories, Freightliner, other brands. We'll give it a name of Star Wars again. Again, this has to be 50 characters long. Tutorial on making a paint job. This one is Star. And we're going to hit upload. Now I know we selected the right folders. We had the right icons. So let's see what's going on. Okay, it's been successful. Close this. Give it a second, it should return, which it did. Go back to home. American Truck Simulator. Again, back to Game Info Workshop. Your workshop files. Now it's saying Star Wars. We're going to hit plus. Then we're going to go ahead and hit home again. It's updated. You just saw it update American Truck Simulator. We're going to hit play. Oh, sorry to hear that, Lucas. Okay, now we've got it right because see, now we have our actual Star Wars logo. So somehow we uploaded something wrong. So we're going to go ahead and load that up. In which case, we could probably put our Star Trek back in too. Because I don't think it was that we had too many in. I just don't think we had something uploaded right. Confirm changes and continue. Again, it's going to give us an error because some of the mods are missing, but that's fine. Just hit continue. Let's load the game. We should be good to go now. I think what happened is I originally selected the Star Trek folder. Go ahead and put prayers in the chat for Lucas, everybody, if you wouldn't mind. Once this load, we should be able to see our new truck, hopefully. That you all helped design. Once my computer loads. Again, if Logitech is watching, I don't even care but whether I have a gaming computer or not, but if Logitech wants to sponsor me with a Logitech G29 force feedback steering wheel, I'll do a review on it. Alright, so now we could go ahead to Trailer Manager. Dismiss this trailer. Configure the trailer. Now let's see if we can get this to work now. Paint job. Yeah, see now Star Wars shows up for $1. So now this is the trailer that we just designed. Now you notice the door is like that. Why is that? Because this is the standard door that we didn't program. We'll get back to that in a second. Alright. We even got the destroyer up there. Alright, so now to get the door redesigned, we're gonna go to accessories, trailer rear, and we're gonna hit roll up door. Now we have the Death Star like we programmed. And we're going to just go with standard bumper for now because we didn't do the mud flaps. So we're going to go ahead and hit confirm order. Thank you, Lucas, but this was just a tutorial on how I actually make them. So we're going to hit use. So it's in. Apparently, we're not in Toronto. That's okay. We can be in Toronto real quick. No, we're in New York. All right, so now our trailer that we just created is over there. So we're gonna before we get the trailer, we're gonna go ahead and make it easy on us. And we're gonna do our truck because, like I said, we have to do our truck at a parking spot. Possibly, Lucas. I have a lot of doctors this week, but I'll try. So we're gonna go to a garage to do our truck, and then we will pick up our attach our trailer and show you the whole thing together. Luckily, I already know where the garage is, the repair place is. I'm even gonna run the lights to get through this already. This has been a pretty long stream. Oh, I'm surprised I didn't get a ticket for that one. I'll get a ticket for this one. If I could even make a left. Yep, there's the ticket. Thank you, sir. You're so nice. All right, so everybody ready to see the truck part now? And then we'll put it together and so you guys can see them both together. So truck configurator. Paint job. Star Wars. Confirm. So I can show you the truck. See, we have the the destroyer on the side there. Star Wars and the Ewok. And then another destroyer there. So let's go ahead and go back to the trailer. Attach the trailer so you can see what it all looks like together. I'm not sure what we hit, but we hit something. All right, there we go. Come on. I'm just trying to get to back. I'm just trying to get these nice people back to see their trailer they designed. That's all right. Oh, I was gonna say I was about to run the light with in front of the cop. And of course, all these cars are freaking turning left. Of course they are. All right, so everybody ready to see the truck and the trailer together? We designed it together. We got it into the game together. Attaching trailer now. We'll pull up a little bit to make it easier to see. Go into camera mode. So that is now the Dark Side Express. And we'll go up a little bit. We got the destroyer on the top. So thank you for bearing with us. I know this was a little lengthy stream, but I wanted to cover everything about designing the truck and trailer. I hope that some of you might have learned something. Maybe we have some interest in the game now. Thank you for watching. Have a great evening, everybody. If you haven't hit that thumbs up, please consider hitting the thumbs up button. If you're ninja watching or haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing. And have a great night. And remember, keep on trucking.